So variables. Now let's take a look at what is variable and how to use them in DAX. Learning this one, the variables, is extremely crucial because adding more variables to your code, it makes it bit easier to understand the coding logic, okay? And importantly, it will simplify your debugging job if you use variables, okay? So, okay, now let us understand what is variable. So, variable, okay. So, variables are used in almost all the programming language. You take any language, everywhere variables are used, okay. So, why we need to use the variables? Use the variables to store the result of an expression. For example, you want to add you want to subtract the deductions from the earnings of the employees, right? Salary, net salary, to get the net salary. You define a variable called net salary on the left side, okay? Left side net salary, on the right side of the equal sign, you use this expression, the earnings minus deduction. That's the calculation, right? That calculation is nothing but expression. So whatever the output of the expression, that will get stored in your net salary in that example. You just think the name is net salary. Expression is the earnings minus deductions. So this is the syntax for defining a variable. So the var stands for the variable. Okay, it's a keyword. It's a reserved. Whenever you define any variable, make sure that you need to prefix with var. But you need to leave space. Okay, you need to leave space between the keyword var and then the variable name, and followed by that variable name is the equal sign is to mention, and followed by the equal sign you can specify the expression. The expression can be something like the earnings minus deduction. Okay, and whenever you use var, you need to use return. The var is supposed to be used along with the return statement, and then you need to specify the expression here. Okay, you need to specify the expression or the variable name. Okay, or the variable name. Okay, you can do it this way. And here, what is the name? Name is the name of the variable, and variable name must be. So there is a rule in terms of defining the variable name. The variable name, can be A to Z or A to Z. It can be a lowercase or uppercase. Okay, you can use the alphabets. It can be lower or uppercase. And the only other supported characters are 0 to 9. Okay, but the variable names should start with the alphabet. You cannot use the numerical value. Remember that. But you can use a numerical value in between. For example, salary or measure 1, measure 2, or measure 1 under sales, right? Something like that. Okay, in between that character also you can use the numeric value, or at the end of the word also you can specify the numeric value, but you cannot define a variable by starting with the numeric value. Okay, that is what the third line says. And the existing table names and certain keywords are not permitted as variable names. You cannot use the keywords as a variable name. For example, you know what is all function, and you know what is calculate function. You cannot use that as a variable name. Okay, what is variable? What exactly variable? You might get confused. Okay, don't worry. I'll just give you a quick idea about it. Look here. So I just go to the modeling ribbon. I'm going to click on the new measure. I'm going to define a simple variable. Here I just say measure file, let it be there, and or listen variable demo. Okay, and here I just give. I just hold my Alt key and press enter, because it is not good practice if you type it everything in a single line. If it is a single line command, you can specify it, sir. And in this case, I'm going to write more than one line. Okay, here what I do is I just define the var with the keyword, and I say y equal to 20. So which means I'm going to assign the value 20 to y. And next is line, I'm going to use variable x equal to listen to this y caret 2. Okay, caret 2 is nothing but square the value. Okay, and as I told you, the return variable, after you declare all after you assign the values to the variables, or if you perform any arithmetic operation, everything for the variables, right? Once you're defining the variables, make sure that you are returning that variable. Okay, return, in this case I'm going to put x here. Okay, because in this case, what we are doing is I have assigned the value 20 to y variable, and then I'm going to use another variable called x. So in this variable, what I am doing is I'm going to square the value of y. So y is nothing but 20, right? 20 squared, 400. That one will get stored. What are the value get stored here? I want to return it. Okay. Let us see whether it works or not. I am going to click on the tick mark, commit. In case of any error, it will throw. So what is the value of x now? So y squared is nothing but 400, right? So 20 squared, which is 400 got assigned. I need to return the value. Okay. So return is 400. It has to return 400. So what I do is I click on the card visual. And here I just say the variable demo. Yeah, this is the one. 400. Got it? So this is how you can define the variable. I just copy and paste this just above this for your reference. I'm going to go and insert and text box. So this is the logic. I use it in this variable demo measure. Okay, fine. So this is enough at this moment. If you know this much, this is enough. Oh, okay, okay. She has another question. Shraddha. Okay, Shraddha's question is, can I use mm, okay, okay. Instead of using x, can't I use it the y squared directly in the return statement? That is also possible. See what she says. Why we need to use x here, and the return statement itself, can't I use y squared? Yes, that is also possible. What I'll do is I'll just copy this, and then I just go here and yeah, just because I told you to create as many variables as possible, that doesn't mean, blindly you create so many variables, okay? And make sure that you are creating the optimal number of variables, okay? Here, yeah, I don't need this one, right? You directly can give y squared. The variable statement should end with or coupled with the return statement. Yes, return is there. And why should I use x here? You can use it directly here. Okay, variable. Okay, this is variable demo. Sorry, it's already there. So we'll give you another thing. Okay, 6. In Excel, are you using variable? Assign the values and expression and specify the output. Is it like stored procedure? No, no, don't get confused with stored procedure. That is different. Okay, this is different. That is different. So this is a variable, okay? So this is a variable. So variable can take any value, okay? It's something like if you assign value 20 to y, this value will get stored in memory, okay? And then what will happen is whenever you specify y is nothing but the address location for the value 20, okay? And it will go and pick up the value 20, in the address y, and then 20 squared is 400. Okay, this is another way of writing the variable. Stored procedure is different. This is different. This is a temporary, right? Temporarily you are going temporary variables. Temporarily you'll be using it. Measure 5. Both of them give the same result, but the logic is a bit straightforward here. Sorry, not this one. Measure 6. Sorry, measure 6. I should have used it right. Okay, wrongly used measure 5. Variable demo measure 6, 400. And here Yeah, you can keep the cursor at the corner and then you drag it, okay? So here both the logics are same, but here we have additional variable x, right? So more the variables you use it, it will consume more space in memory. Okay, so this is another example. And other example is, for example, you wanted to add some value with y, return y plus 2. That is also possible. So the return is a keyword, is used to, this one is used to return the value of any variable. So in this case, return the value of variable x here. Here it returns the value of the squared value of, it return the value of the expression. In this case, the expression is y squared. Okay. So this is basically helpful in the case of debugging your calculation with, see, other example is, you want to find out the earnings, right? Basic plus HRA. So what is variable earnings? On the right side, you'll put basic plus HRA plus all the things, okay? And the 1 lakh plus 20,000 plus. And here the deduction, okay? In case return the net salary. So what will happen is, if you have any mistake, right? What you do is, if this throws an error, that means, only that variable we made a mistake. You can go to that specific variable and then you can address it, okay? Another thing is reusability, right? So instead of using the expression name as it is, using the expression is a little bit painful. For example, if somebody wants to, you to find out the net margin, okay? So net margin, what you need to do is you need to first find out the discount value, total discount. Let's assume that, okay? Total discount value you need to find out. I need to subtract that from your total sales amount. That is the one you store it in a variable, and then that variable you can use it to convert it as a percentage, right? Display it in terms of percentage. You say discounted value is 10,000. The total sales is 90,000. 90,000 minus 10,000, how much? 80,000. So it is okay. What is the percentage, revenue percentage here, right? So in that case, total sales divided by, sorry, the discounted value, discounted amount, after discount, what is the sales, divided by before discount, what is the sales. So in that case, you don't have to specify the discount, before, after discount, whatever the expression you have used it, you don't have to use it again here, right? So that is that. See, I just write it here. See, you have something called, right? So you have var, okay, after discount, you have something called sales amount, or gross sales amount minus the discounted value. Discounted value, how will you arrive at? The discount into the sales amount, that is the discounted value, right? This is the total sales, total discounted value, and sales amount. This will give you the after discount sales, right? And again, you want to find out the after discount, right? So, sorry, yeah, you want to, find out the percentage of net margin percentage, net margin percentage. So in that case, what you can do is, you have subtracted this one, you got the after discount, right? That one you convert it as a percentage divided by 100. Okay. So instead of using the same expression again here, simply you are reusing this variable. Okay. You are giving a name to the expression as a AD here. That AD you are going to use it. The name of the expression I'm going to, AD is nothing but the total discounted value minus the total sales amount, right? This is an expression. Instead of using the expression in multiple lines, so this is a line 1, line 2, line 3, maybe also you might be using this one. Again, instead of using this one, you can use this variable. Variable is, you can use a variable to give a name for your expression, right? That is what this one. So at this moment, understand the concepts, whatever I explained it. You can also do some Googling, and then that's what I said. See, after discount variable, already holding the net profit, right? You need to divide it by percentage. That's all. Or you can use Yeah, new sales divided by profit percentage. New sales divided by profit percentage. See, that is different thing, right? New sales. What do you mean by new sales here? Okay. Yes, instead of using long code, right? Fine. Simple, yeah. You are giving a name to the expression. It's something like in a family, many members are there, right? So we give the family name. That family name, for example, Agarwal. Agarwal family means in that family, we know very well they have 10 members are there, right? 10 members are there. Instead of saying each and every person, we just name that family as a family name. Okay, something like that. Okay. So when you refer the family name with others, they'll be able to, oh, in this family, this many numbers are there. Immediately they'll ask you, oh, your last son, I met him 4 weeks back, right? They start, right? So something like that. Okay. Just for you to understand, I just give some kind of analogy like this. Okay. But don't literally go by this analogy. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Instead of using the long code, we use a variable. Exactly. Right. Correct. Sigania family. Okay. Who is that Sigan? Okay, fine. Okay. Good. Okay. And yeah, so those kind of situations. And even in the case of calculated columns, we can use variable, right? So first name, variable, where first name equal to name, first name of the person, where last name is another thing, and return first name into last name. So that is the one. We'll give you that one. Okay. You can use variable. That is for readability purpose also. Okay. So the reason why we are using various readability of the code, and it reduces the size of your code. And the debugging is pretty simple. Okay. If you make any mistake in the third line, it will throw an error with that specific variable only. Okay. For example, here, if it throws an X is not defined, the syntax error with X, so you can directly go ahead and fix it. Instead of, let's say in this case, 3 lines, right? Let's say you are writing a complex logic. In this case, it requires 10 lines. If it throws an error with the variable name, you can go to the specific line of the code and then you can fix it. Otherwise, you will have to break your head where this error comes from, all the things, right? So hence, the debugging of the code is pretty easier. The performance is also a bit, faster when you use variable. Okay. So you have understood what is variable and why we need to use variable and how to use the variables we discussed so far. This is just, this gives you a head start in terms of understanding the variables, everything. Okay. So variable is nothing but a value, a variable can take any value. It can take any value. A variable can take any value. But remember one thing, you cannot use the same variable, uh, but you cannot modify the variable. Once you assign a value, you cannot modify the value. See, for simple thing is, for example, here, where demo measure 5. If I go back here and again, if I say, sorry, I just pressed enter, okay, here what it is, where y equal to x, can I give like this? And here, already I define the variable as y, okay? And if I try to change the value of y by assign the squared value here, right, it will not work. It will throw an error. Look here, variable y cannot be created because a table variable with the same name already exists. You cannot modify the variable once you define it, okay? You cannot, which means, you are reassigning the value of y by x. So what is this 20 squared? 400, right? 400, you are assigning back to y. Okay, this is not possible. Once you define it, this also you need to remember it. Okay. So these are the simple rules you should be aware of it. Okay, look here, this one became error because of that. Okay, with this, hope you understood what is variable, why we need to use variable, what are the rules that you need to follow defining a variable and all, what are the advantages of variable, everything we discussed.